Hi, welcome. So this is going to be a general message. I'm going to roll the dice I have right here. We're going to find out which zodiac sign this is a message for. You can have this placement anywhere in your chart. I don't care if it's in your 10th house and there's just one planet there. It could be for you, okay? So let's go ahead and roll the dice and see which zodiac sign we're going to be reading for today, please. Okay, we have Cancer. Cancer. Okay, so Cancers, let's get a general message for you guys. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. We have the lovebirds right when I split the deck. So Cancer, what is it that Cancer needs to know? I'm going to have a playlist attached for you guys, but I want to let you know that yesterday I was actually hearing a song by Chris Webby, and it's Friend Like Me. And there's one line in the song where he says, gimme everything that you got, the thing in your wallet, and that ring with the watch. And today, this morning, I was telling the people on Threads a story about when I met the devil in the woods. And right before I met him, there was a diamond ring laying in the dirt, but clairvoyantly. I had to see it as a vision clairvoyantly. And after that, it was the months that followed that diamond ring really kind of haunted me. I was like, what did that mean? Obviously, a diamond ring means commitment. And we can think, like when I split the deck, traditionally with romantic love interest, some kind of engagement, right? Or a commitment of a partnership of some sort. But in that sense, it was a commitment to God. And that was something that was coming up in my energy repeatedly the last few days was, God is my best friend. God was there for me in times, the darkest moments, and the times where nobody on this earth really had loyalty towards me. And I was surrounded by the energy of the rat. And the rat archetype was actually following me a lot yesterday as well. And I thought it was interesting because I was like, well, Cinderella has always been my favorite. So there's this energy that wants to take from you. But at the same time, I'm feeling like because of your loyalty towards God, you were like, there's nothing left for you to take. I've already given my time, symbolized by the watch. I've already given my resources, symbolized that thing in your wallet. I've already given my commitment, my faith, and my trust to God. There's nothing left for the enemy to take. We have butterfly here. So this could be a transformative period for the Cancers. So I'm feeling this energy where you're finding your loyalty and where that lies, and in trusting God with certain things that you used to trust humans with, or things that you used to rely upon yourself for. We have potion in reverse. There could be even you could be moving away from certain spell work or manifestation techniques that you're feeling like aren't appropriate for your journey anymore because you want to put that trust in a higher power outside of you. And you may take personal offense when people say things that, like they're God, or that the power to create certain things comes from a source outside of it coming from the creator, right? And so you may take personal offense to this, and it has a lot to do with you're a good friend. And if God is your best friend in some of the darkest moments, and you have testimony that is unwaverable and unshakable, I don't know if waverable is a word, but that's what I heard, then you're going to be a good friend towards God. And because of that, that's why something is coming in for you as like the other half of that commitment, because God doesn't believe in one-sided partnerships. And I guess that could be okay, that could be why all the other songs on your guys' playlist, if you go into your playlist, you'll see the music playlist that Spirit picked out for you right before this reading. All of the songs had the word one in the title. And I was seeing ones in the sky, like number ones in the sky in the clouds multiple times in the last couple weeks. And so there's something here about the number one. You could be seeing ones. We have raven. You guys could also be seeing ravens. Pairs of ravens or murders of crows is also coming through. And these birds are behaving in odd ways that is capturing your attention. Prophetic messages. The underworld is calling. Secret knowledge is given. Time of transformation. You guys had butterfly a second ago. So you guys are going through a heavy time of transformation. And I don't know why I chose to say heavy. Listen closely. Black feathers for protection. Spiritual teacher. You guys have decided to make God your spiritual teacher. And because of that dedication and that commitment, God is rewarding you in some way with dedication and commitment. Coconut. It was in reverse. Island time, partying and having fun, exotic drinks, foreign foods, letting your hair down, booking a spontaneous trip, holiday romance, and flirty time. That's interesting. I'm going to leave coconut out because I feel like it'll come full circle. Okay, so I'm going to pull from this angel oracle. Is there anything here for the Cancers? General messages for the Cancers, please let us know. Holiday romance. We are in the holiday season right now. We just had Thanksgiving. We're about to go into the Christmas season. We have early stages here on the bottom of the deck. The card that flew out says, Dance with Fire. Do more of what makes you happy and feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you and lights your soul on fire. Oh, and then we have Sit This Out in reverse. So I'm feeling like you guys are prioritizing what you like, what you enjoy, and you're letting some of the activities or environments where you had to kind of dim your light or squeeze yourself to fit into certain places and settings that I'm picking up on, like, you having to put on almost like a mask or a persona. Like if you were going to church, for example, you might be dressing different than you would the rest of the week. Something like that, where you're having to kind of accommodate your appearance, accommodate who you are. I heard on a structural level, and you're not really down with that anymore. You're feeling like, okay, I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be who I am, and you can take it or leave it. Yeah, we have early stages. This may be uncomfortable for you sometimes. You have good luck in the unseen. So you have good luck coming in that you're not able to see just yet. Or I'm also feeling like if you're feeling unseen right now, you could be a writer. We have typewriter here. If you're feeling unseen right now, it could be that that's a cloak of protection that was put on you by God, by the divine, to be able to find who it is that you authentically are. Okay, I want to find out more information. Let's pull some of the tarot. Information, general messages for Cancer, please. Holy Spirit, what is the message here? If you haven't been giving your time and commitment to God, this is a message for you to do so now. We have 5 of Cups. You could be grieving. You could be grieving loss, and this is the time when Spirit is coming to you in the darkest moments, in the still of the night. Ace of Coins. A new financial opportunity or seeing health in a different way is something I'm also picking up on. The coconut could be here as well because you need to drink more coconut water. Okay, I like to drink coconut water as a way to help my system, support my system to detox. It has some electrolytes in it that are good for you. Queen of Wands. Interesting that you have Dance with Fire and Queen of Wands. You know, with the Queen of Wands and the Dance with Fire showing up here, you could have heavy fire placements, but what I typically associate the Queen of Wands with is spirituality, a spiritual teacher. You guys had that, yeah? Yeah, you guys had spiritual teacher. You could be a spiritual teacher watching this. There's death here. My eyes are drawn to the fern. Something to do with ferns here. I know ferns thrive in like rainforest type environments. You could be somebody that likes to walk in the woods. Oh, See, that's what I was talking about this morning. Walking in the woods was when I met the devil. That's when I saw the diamond ring in the dirt. And I don't know how it's tied to your message, but I know when I blog like that, it always is, always tied to the message. And so it could be that you're being called to kind of do something similar with the typewriter here. And something about prioritizing who it is that who is your number one. And in some cases, I feel like that could even be yourself at this, in some ways. Like, yes, God is your number one, but it's through your relationship with God that you were able to really take care of yourself and prioritize yourself here on this earthly plane. And that could be why this Ace of Coins is showing up here as well, because I know a lot of people associate it with money, but when I see the Ace of Coins, sometimes I see it as health as well. Health is wealth. When you're in a healthy state and your body is working the way it's supposed to, you can make the most money. When you're suffering with chronic illness, old age, or certain setbacks on a physical level, it can impact your mental, it can impact your finances, it can impact your relationships and your emotions on a heavy level, and it's all connected. Yeah, look at the Hanged Man. It's all connected with the spider web symbolism. Interesting. And how fitting with the Hanged Man energy here. We have the Devil underneath that. A feeling of stuck, stagnancy. I heard something about racing against time. And this morning, the eyeshadow shade that I used was called Zoltar. And when I saw Zoltar at the beach a couple weeks ago, I put $1 in his little machine, and he told me age is just a state of mind. It's just an illusion, and that you can do anything, was essentially the message. You can do anything. It doesn't matter how old you are. And so that message is coming through for us right now. Yeah, so there's this music video by Pink. What's it called? Oh my gosh, it has to do with fire too. It's the Alice in Wonderland one. What's it called? I don't remember, but I'm gonna put it in your playlist. And there's a moment where she falls from the tea party, and right before she hits the flowers, she stops and she's suspended in air, and she's trying to move and she's stuck. And Time walks up, and he has his little stopwatch or whatever, and he's like looking at her, and he like ignores her, and he goes to her daughter, and he starts interacting with the little girl. And so there's something significant about this here. What is that song called? Something about fire. Nobody can do it like me anyway, or something. Yeah, so I'm going to move on to another deck, actually. We have Karmic in reverse and the Six of Wands. I feel like you guys have been overcoming certain karmic cycles or certain karmic connections. And you're still feeling stuck in time, and you're wondering what that's about. I heard reflection, a moment of reflection, a time of reflection, of how far you come, some of the lessons that you might have overlooked if you were able to move on to the next as quickly as you wanted. Something about embracing your authenticity, even if they call you names, even if they call you out of your title or call you crazy. We have Illuminate. There's fire here. Able to see clear, truths being revealed, radiating love, gaining knowledge, paving the way for prosperity. Intuitive. We have depth here. And she also has like the death kind of symbolism with the skeleton being bare, exposing even what it is that's inside your heart. We got 911 here. 911 showing up. This is an emergency situation. Spiritual emergency. Did you guys experience a spiritual emergency where you went through a violent awakening without knowing what was happening? You could have, we got indecisive here. So you guys could have either been trying to develop your intuition and it developed at a rapid speed that you weren't prepared for, or you could have had something like what I had, where you weren't looking to be spiritual and it just happened. And that can be terrifying. I don't know why I'm picking up on spiritual emergency here, but I feel like sometimes when that happens, it has a lot to do with God pushing you out of the nest, so to speak, putting you in a situation where you were always destined to fly, but it's terrifying as hell as you're falling on your way down. It says magnetism is what you guys got. You guys have some kind of magnetism, some kind of aura or energy that pulls people in, and this is meant to be utilized. We're all going to have different gifts. We're all going to have different testimony and ways that we've come into knowing God. And I feel like you're not meant to look like other spiritual teachers. You're not meant to be, I just heard cookie cutter, and I don't know why I'm seeing like a cookie here. You're meant to be unique and inspiring in your authenticity and your uniqueness. And there's something here about utilizing your gift in a way that honors God, not in a way that honors yourself. My grace is sufficient. There's something here about remaining humble. And that must mean that you have something great coming in with this Ace of Pentacles. Was I saying Ace of Wands earlier, you guys? Ace of Coins. Transition and cleanse. Transition and cleanse. Feeling as if anything is possible. Peace and harmony. Self-love. Period. Moving on. Detaching yourself. Spiritual discovery. Shedding old skin. Travel as part of work. Taking a break. And then we have with the cleanse, it says willing to give back is what my eye is drawn to. Having a pure heart. Yeah, that's why God is trying to basically break your spirit into, I hate saying it like that, but break your spirit, break your heart into unconditional humility. And it's not the kind of humility where you're like, oh, I'm nothing, everybody's better than me. No, it's humility towards God, understanding your humanness in the grand scheme of things and being surrounded by a world that's not able to see that. A world that's cloaked in illusion of grandiose delusion is what I'm hearing. We got walking away. Self-love. Self-love, period. I don't talk like that, but that's what the card said. That's what the cards had said. And I thought that was cute. We have Aries energy showing up here, Venus energy, Chiron. Chiron is showing up, the wounded healer. So wherever your Chiron placement is in your birth chart, that's going to expose to you your greatest wound. And it kind of brings a sense of peace, at least to me, to know that if God assigned me that wound, there's going to be a way for me to overcome it. Right? So once you're able to figure out how it is that you're able to heal this wound that you have, this God-assigned trauma, that's the key that's going to help you to expand in your gifts. It's going to help you to heal the most people, to reach the most people, to understand the most people, to draw the most people in with the magnetism card. So there's also something here about beauty. So if you were gifted beauty, the story of Esther may be a significant parable for you. But I feel like, don't they say something like, you were gifted your beauty for a time such as this, or something like that? There's something here about God preparing you for a time such as this. I really want to know what the fern is about because, well, I guess it's the woods, right? But there's something significant about this fern. I know I love ferns. Ferns are one of my favorite plants because they kind of tell me when they need water. They kind of like droop down and they're dramatic. And then once I mist them and I give them water, then they come back, right? And it could be that you're like the fern, where you start to feel depleted, and God comes through and fills you back up again, fills up your system with faith, and has taught you to pour into yourself through this relationship of ups and downs, but a whole lot of downs, a whole lot of disruptions. We have unrealistic here. I heard that people told you that you were unrealistic, that your plans were unrealistic. Meanwhile, it was exactly what God was telling you to do. And these were tests and trials against your intuition to see how confident you were going to be in the gifts that God gave you. Because are you going to be loyal to the world, or are you going to be loyal to your best friend? I just dropped some cards. But I was going to say, when you're standing in a room with people and they start bad-mouthing your best friend, you're not going to stand for it. You're not going to allow them to do that. And you're going to respectfully tell them, listen, you're wrong. And it's wrong for you to talk about anybody like that, let alone my best friend. We got filthy here. And I heard, keep the change, you filthy animals, from Home Alone. Let me grab these cards real quick. I'm curious to see what they were. Okay, so we have free flowing, and again with the water symbolism, so you might need to cleanse with some salt water, or even visit the ocean is always something that helps me reset my energy. And we also have self-sufficient here. Okay, so there's some kind of, with this walking away, you're being pulled away from certain codependencies. And this could even be something like, let's say you went to therapy for a couple years straight and you're starting to feel like, you know what, I don't know if I really need to go as often as I used to. And I think I'm just going to play it by, what do they call that? When you make appointments only when you need it, right? And so instead of having a standing appointment, you're kind of taking that independence of like, I feel like I have the tools necessary for me to go into this next chapter, living my life in a different way. It's just an example. I'm not telling you to stop going to therapy. But I wanted to say you're walking away from certain medical practices that you used to rely on. But I'm not a doctor. I'm just reading the energy. You could also be walking away from certain codependent relationships that may have diminished your value or wanted you to represent yourself in ways that feel inauthentic to who it is that God created you to be, in ways that honor your gift and in ways that honor God. Because the whole thing about your energy, Cancer, for this month, I don't know how often I'm going to be able to do every sign, so I'm going to just assume for the month ahead, you're staying committed to those that were loyal to you. And based on your cards, I'm feeling like you went through a lot of ego death, right, with this death card. And that never comes without a heavy cost of a lot of people that you possibly have thought were your ride or dies. There may have been some betrayal, some loss, some identity crisis here. But God is wanting you to know that it wasn't for nothing. It was meant to equip you to be more self-sufficient, to be more independent, to spot codependency in ways that you may not have been able to identify had you just moved on to the next chapter without some of this that you're coming out of here. Okay, so I want to I feel like I should close this message, but I have this, it's called Law of Attraction deck by Jennifer Aquarius. If you guys are interested, she's on Etsy. I feel like finding out a little bit about this Ace of Coins that you guys got, Cancer, because I want this message to be helpful. And I know how hard it is to just kind of be told like, oh, something's coming. But I'm feeling like your message is coming through because, I mean, it's possible that this is what you're going into, but I feel like you've remained very, very close to God. You've been praying not just for you, but for people that you don't even like. You've been working really hard to please God instead of pleasing the world. And I feel like there's some kind of something big because God is wanting to show you that God is committed to you as well. So what is it? Woman came out. You guys saw it a second ago on the bottom of the deck, right? So, woman. We got healthy diet. With the woman card here, it could be that, oh, I know what this is. If you were somebody that was never really allowed to be, quote unquote, a woman, meaning you always had to kind of fend for yourself, protect yourself, provide for yourself, and that's what kind of drew you into God, right? Was that father presence that you weren't able to obtain here on earth. I feel like you're going to be allowed to embrace your femininity a little bit more. You're going to be able to be in your soft girl era. You're going to be able to relax. You're going to be able to heal. This is a luxury that not every woman is granted, even if it looks like she should be granted that. There's a lot of hustlers out there. There's a lot of hardworking women because they're survivors, because I don't know how else to say this other than God needed you to be a little bit gangster. God needed you to be able to hold your own. And if you always had a man around you to do that for you, you would have never embraced that gift. You would have never found that level of self-love to be able to kind of embrace both your masculinity and your feminine sides. I'm also feeling like with this healthy diet here, you're going to be really in touch with your body, with what it is that your body is asking for you to eat. If it's more fruits, if it's more proteins, what is it that your body's lacking? Some of you need more hydration. And again, that's why that coconut symbolism was showing up. Lime in the Coconut is a song I'm going to add to your guys' playlist. And maybe that's why too I was picking up on you walking away from traditional medical systems, because you're starting to notice the benefits of healing through your diet, adding herbs that have medicinal properties to what it is that you're eating, and balancing out certain things naturally. Look how debt-free was in reverse. But I'm feeling a little bit like you guys are going to be focusing on savings, or yeah, we have growing family here for Cancer. Teacher. You guys got teacher twice or 3 times. Expressing emotions in reverse. You know what I'm feeling with that debt card? I'm feeling like it's a karmic debt. And remember, you guys had that karmic card. Give support. Skincare routine.